Hello! The objective of this video tutorial is to give you an introduction to MackinVia. MackinVia is a program that makes it easy to access your school's ebooks and educational databases. All you will need is your Active Directory and internet access. So if I were on a computer, I could go ahead and type in MackinVia.com, or I could search MackinVia. There is also a free app that will work on any devices that you can download, and again, all you would need was your Active Directory in order to log in. If I were at school, this is what the landing page would look like, and if I was at home, it would look similar, but I would have to select my school. My school would not be selected for me, and there would be a box here for my username, which is your Active Directory login, and a box here for my password, which is my Active Directory password. Same password you use for everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And the two tools that I really want to highlight today are ebooks and databases. So if I clicked on ebooks, I would see that I am now showing the entire catalog of the ebook titles here at Hammond, and they're in alphabetical order by title. But say I'm at home and I'm a 7th grader and I have to read some Call of the Wild tonight, and I left my book at school. So I want to see if we have access to it digitally. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and search Call of the Wild, and we do have it. And if you look over here to the left, you will see that there are 3 options. You can add it to your favorites, which would be stored in your backpack. I could open it now, or I could check it out. And by checking it out, it's the same way that if you were to check out a book, it would no longer be available to other users. Another benefit of checking out is that it would download to my device for the 3-week time period. So if I were going on a trip and I didn't know if I was going to have Wi-Fi access and I didn't want to bring a book, I might download the book so that it could live on my device and I could read it whenever I needed. I'm going to go ahead and open the book to show you some of the tools that are available. So here I am. And immediately down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see some tools. So there's a zoom in tool. There is a contrast tool if I'm having a hard time seeing it. There is also a printing tool or a full screen tool. This will always take me back to the table of contents. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I also have tools that I can use as I'm reading. So if I were to highlight, I have a dictionary option. I could highlight it in case I were going to come back to it. I could take a note about it, which would then go up here and be stored in my backpack. And there is a play option as well.
There were great stables, where a dozen grooms and boys held forth, rows of vines, lad servants' cottages, and then...
So that's some of the tools that you have if you are reading an ebook. But I also want you to see the databases. So the databases that you have access to are here, also in alphabetical order. And there is a short summary to give you an idea if you were struggling to kind of determine what database do I want to start in. So you have here, you can open now, but you can also add to favorites. So if I go to open now, it automatically takes me to the Science Reference Center, which eliminates a step that once existed. Prior, if you tried to open the databases at home, you had to have this kind of bizarre password and login that was difficult to remember. So this makes it much easier because you literally have the databases in your pocket to some degree. Some other options that you do have in MackinVia, there are audiobooks, there are search tools, and the backpack would show anything that you had favorited, any notes that you had taken in the book that you had taken them on. That one's my ID. Any books that you had checked out or anything that you currently had on request. So if there were an ebook that you wanted that was out, you would have an option to put it on hold or request it so that it would go to you immediately once it was checked back in by the previous user. So I hope you guys go home and download the app, and happy e-reading.